And there you go, some Marty Robbins and the Hanging Tree from 1959. Touching some classic stuff for you right here on PPR. And brand new music, a little tune called Broke, kicking off the top of the hour. Hey, everybody, a quick reminder that First Northern Bank and Trust is the local bank that has all the modern technologies of today's world, but treats you like a person, not a number. Personal and business banking and much, much more. Find them at 1stnorthernbank.com. That's firstnorthernbank.com. And we have our guest ripping and ready to go here this afternoon. It's a gentleman who is born and raised a Texas boy, and he's got a band put together, and they're doing some amazing things. We're going to be playing some of his music and finding out all about him. Please make welcome to the show, Mr. Jesse Stratton. Hey, Jesse, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty darn good myself, and I hope you're having a wonderful day down in Texas. We're up here in Pennsylvania, so I'm sure the weather is just a bit different, but hopefully you're having a fine afternoon.
It's 86 degrees here.
Well, it's only 69 here. It's a little chillier up here.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
So, Jesse, your music is really great. We're going to be playing a couple of your tunes. We're going to talk about album and a bunch of the stuff that you have going on in your music and that. But first, I get multiple talented people coming out of the state of Texas. Of course, it's absolutely huge. But let's go back in time a little bit. Why don't you give us a little background on how the whole band thing kind of worked out, like a little bit from your background and how you kind of worked your way into having this band and putting out this awesome music. Give us some history, Jesse.
All right. Well, I first started playing music in 6th grade. I started playing the saxophone in the school band. I kept playing the saxophone all the way through school, and when I was 15 or 16, I started playing the guitar, and I started writing songs on the guitar. They're terrible songs, so I don't play them anymore, but then I kept playing the saxophone, kept playing the guitar, and I actually moved from Texas to Wisconsin. I spent some time up there playing music for about 4 years, and then I decided that the music scene was way better in Texas, so I came back to Texas. And the band I have now just all came about through mutual friends. I was writing songs, and I needed some other musicians to play them with me, so just asked around and met all these guys through other people I knew, and everything just kind of fell into place from there.
Well, it's pretty amazing. I mean, you're a multi-instrumentalist. I mean, you also play the harmonica, too, according to some information that I've read here. And you're incorporating all that stuff into the band and the sound of the band.
Right, yeah. It gives it a good diversity, I feel. Having a saxophone in country music, you don't really hear that much, so it kind of turns people's heads when they hear it at a live show.
Well, that's pretty cool. How many guys are in your band, Jesse?
Normally there's 4 of us. We have a fiddle player sometimes, but most of the time we have a 4-piece band.
Okay. You have a great website here with lots of things that you have going on it. You guys are getting out and doing some touring. Are you doing most of your touring in Texas? Are you getting out at all?
No, we haven't left Texas yet. We play all of our shows in Texas. There's just so many places to play. Most of the time we stay in Central Texas. There's just a ton of great venues around here, but we do travel all over the state. So we have not played outside of Texas yet.
Okay. All right. Well, it's a fairly new band, but I also see that you have a lot of great videos on here for a lot of your music. Is this stuff that you're producing yourselves, or are these getting put out there as professional, official music videos for your tunes?
I mean, we don't do the filming and the editing ourselves, but they're all self-produced. Everything we've done has been self-produced and self-funded. We haven't worked with anyone bigger as far as that goes. All of our albums are self-produced and self-funded, and all the videos as well, everything we do.
Awesome. Well, tell us about the newest and latest album that you guys are pushing right now. You've got it out there on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and I see that you can also get hard copies available at all your shows and stuff like that. Tell us about this inspiration of this latest CD that you have out there.
So the album's called Traction, and it's 13 songs. And I had to cut a few out because the reality is I just write too many songs. I can't fit them all on the albums because it's just too time-consuming, too expensive. So I always have plenty of songs to make an album, which is great. I kind of see it as a blessing. It's just, but it's also frustrating sometimes because I write songs that I don't get to put on the CDs. So we kind of just narrow them down and pick the good ones, or pick the ones we feel fit the sound the best. And we record at a studio that's in the town where I live, the little town called Wimberley, right in central Texas. It's a really cool little studio. It's an old house that got converted into a studio. They do some great stuff there. But all the music that you hear on the album is played by the members in the band. We don't hire studio musicians or bring in anyone else. It's the same thing you're going to hear when we play live, which is something we're proud of because it's a tough thing to accomplish. A lot of times bands have to hire studio musicians. So I've just been lucky to get some really good musicians full-time in my band. So
that's awesome. Now, as a writer, obviously you're writing your own music and stuff. Are you thinking of potentially putting your music out there for other artists at some point? Or are you more like you just want to be able to perform all your own music for right now and not looking to get out there and be like a BMI writer and ASCAP writer?
Yeah, I'm registered with BMI, and if any artist ever approaches me with the idea of recording any of my songs, I'm definitely open to that, but I haven't actively thought that out. It's definitely something that would be great if it happens. I'm not against it at all. Recently, a couple people have reached out about a couple songs, but none of it has been finalized yet, so we'll see what happens.
And that's good, though. I mean, if you're going to get out there as a BMI registered songwriter and you're putting some songs out there, I mean, that would help your band also get a little bit more recognition as a singer, songwriter, and performer. You're kind of checking off a few boxes there.
Right, yeah. It would all be good.
Awesome. What was the inspiration for Traction, the entire album? Do you feel like all the songs kind of have a singular theme to them, or did you want to show some versatility amongst the 13 songs, Jesse?
Yeah, it doesn't have a singular theme to it. I feel like the sound is very, it all sounds good together, but as far as the theme of the lyrics, it's kind of just where I am in my life right now, but it's not really a theme specifically. It's just, different things that I see, different things that I experience, just turn them all into songs. That's kind of how I do my writing. I kind of write about everything. I write about the good things, I write about the bad things, and Well, tell us about this current single that and you've penned all the songs on the album. Go ahead and tell us about the current single that you have out there right now that you guys are kind of pushing off the album. It's called "Dance with Me." Tell us where that inspiration came from and how that story came about. Yeah, this was inspired by this really old dance hall that close to where I live. It's called Green Hall, and also a dance hall in my hometown, which is not far away from here. They were both built in the 1880s, and they've been holding dances ever since then. So they're just full of history, and we're lucky enough that we get to perform in places like this. But the song inspiration actually came from a night when I was on a date with my wife, and we were passing by the area. We went out to dinner, and then we were walking next to Green Hall, and we heard the band playing, and we walked in through the doors. And down here, I don't know if everyone's heard of it, but we have a dance called the two-step. Seems like it's maybe kind of famous everywhere. People call it the Texas two-step. So my wife is from Wisconsin. I met her when I was living up there, so she didn't know how to do the two-step dance that everyone knows how to do in Texas.
Because she's not from Texas.
Right. And when you live down here, it's just kind of part of the culture. Everyone learns how to do it when they're young kids. And anyway, so we went into the dance hall, and a band was playing, and I took her out on the dance floor, and I taught her how to dance right there. And that's where the song comes from, is that night I had with my wife, and then also just teaching her how to dance on this dance floor that, just millions of people have danced on over the past 130-something years that it's been open. So it's just full of history, and I kind of feel full of magic, and it's just a really wonderful place, and that's where the song comes from.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing when you can experience some really cool things in some really cool and historic places. We have a lot of those kind of places around here as well. And, you know, it's almost like if the floor could talk or if the walls could talk, what kind of stories would they tell, you know, about who actually walked on that floor before you or who walked through the door, you know, like you're saying, you know, so long ago. I mean, that in itself is very inspirational when it comes to history like that, which is really, really, really neat to have something like that right there in your hometown, you know?
Right. Yeah, it's pretty special.
That's pretty cool. Now, this is the current single that you have off the Traction album. It's got 13 songs on it. Can they get hard copies from your website? I know it says about how they can get it at the shows, but for those of us who aren't in Texas and they like it, can they get a hard copy from your website, or can they only get it on the electronic platforms?
Yeah, you can. We don't have an order form for hard copies exactly, but on the website there's a contact form, and if anyone's interested, all they have to do is just fill out that contact form, and then I'll get back to them and we can do the order that way.
Okay, awesome.
So definitely possible.
All right. Well, listen, I have to take a quick break and take care of some business. Jesse, can you hang on a little bit?
Sure.
All right. Well, we're going to be back with more Jesse Stratton talking about his band and his music, the influences that all went into this album that is currently out there called Traction with 13 songs on it. The current single, little something called Dance With Me, a story of teaching his wife how to dance in a very historical and close to heart place in his hometown. We got 23 minutes after the top of the hour, 69 degrees. Remember, all the interviews are being brought to you by our friends at Lehigh Valley Health Network. We're going to be back with more Jesse in just a bit and his latest single, a little something called Dance With Me. Don't go anywhere. And back there, you heard the Jesse Stratton Band, his current single that's out there, a little something called Dance With Me. Little story about taking the hand of his wife and doing a little two-step, little Texas two-step on the dance floor. It was cute. I really liked it. It was a good little tune there, Jesse.
Thank you very much.
So you've got 13 songs on this album. You guys said you also had released another single before you got to Dance With Me, a little something called Finally, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Tell us a little bit about that song.
I don't have as much of a cool story about that one. It's just a song about when things go right, and life definitely doesn't always work out that way. But you know, sometimes things go right when things feel good, and I just felt like I didn't have enough songs about the happy side of life, so I wrote a song about when things are feeling good. That's what Finally is about.
Nice. A little inspirational, like kind of like, phew, finally. I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, are you guys active on the social medias? What's a great way for people to reach out to you, Jesse, if they're interested in getting in touch and finding out where you guys are or whatever? Are you active on the social medias?
Yes, definitely have a Facebook page and an Instagram page that we're very active on.
And is it you guys who are doing the replying, or do you got a team that helps you out with that?
Yeah, no, it comes straight to me. I do all the social media.
Awesome. So people are actually talking to you if they have a comment about your music or asking about how they can get their hands on it, things along that line?
Yep, they'll go straight to me.
Awesome. Tell us what you have planned for the near future, the rest of 2018, maybe into 19. I know you're going to be pushing this album Traction quite a bit and getting more music off of that, but long term, something you can let the listening audience in on as far as what they can be looking forward to from the Jesse Stratton Band?
Yeah, we'll be doing more singles off of this album through this year and next year. And we also have a live album that is going to be coming out probably at the end of this year, maybe right at the beginning of 2019. I'm not exactly sure yet, but it was recorded live also right here in my hometown, Wimberley, Texas. I'm really excited about that. That's a bunch of songs that I wrote 6, 7, 8 years ago that I put on an album back then where it was just me playing the songs with an acoustic guitar. And so none of those songs have ever been released with the whole band recording. So that's the whole idea behind that. So a bunch of more new music coming out toward the end of the year with that album, too.
Awesome. Sounds like you guys are busy and, of course, working on getting more and more dates on that tour that people can come and see you. Is there a plan to actually start spreading your wings outside of Texas and maybe moving your way towards the Nashville or the Northwest?
Kind of just take it as it comes as far as that goes. We have some opportunities to maybe start playing in Colorado, but of course that's not the same direction. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'm not actively pushing to do any nationwide touring, but I guess I'm kind of just seeing where it all goes and reacting to it.
Nice. Well, sometimes that's just the way to do it, and kind of take it as it comes. Good for you. The whole show gets recorded, Jesse, and I play it back on a Sunday morning, so you can notify your fans or tag your fans and friends that if they missed the interview today, they'll be able to catch it again Sunday morning. It starts at 8 a.m. Eastern Time with the interview in the second hour, which would be 9 a.m. And I like to close out my show to remind everybody about the talent that I had on the show earlier in the day. We talked about another tune off of this 13-song album, Far Away and Long Ago. Is there a little story that goes with that one?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a story. The title of that actually comes from me wanting to do something that my son would like. He's 9 years old. He likes all my music, but I just wanted to do something kind of special for him, and his favorite thing in the world is Star Wars. So the title of that song, Far Away and Long Ago, is basically a play off of the the opening line of Star Wars, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. The song itself has nothing to do with Star Wars, but that's kind of where I drew that inspiration, and then based off of that title, kind of just worked in with some other ideas I had, and it actually ended up being something about my wife again. It's written about the place where we met. Her and I met at a restaurant. We both worked there. I was a cook and she was a waitress, and after we worked there for a little while, and then we actually got in an argument at work, and they fired us both on the same day. And so that was in Wisconsin. And then, like I said, we moved down here to Texas, and then every time we went back to Wisconsin, we would always go to that restaurant to go eat. Then it closed down. They closed it up. So I wrote this song about that place and how we can't go back to it anymore.
Wow.
Where that comes from.
Nice. Very good. Well, we're going to play that one at the end of the show to give folks who might have missed the interview a little taste of what the Jesse Stratton Band sounds like. You guys can find these guys at jessestrattonmusic.com. Got a nice website. You can check out some of the videos for some of the music off the album, plus some of the other albums and music that they have on there. If you are in the Texas area, you can check out their calendar and see where their shows are going to be, how you can book them if you're looking for a great band from your area down there. And I'm sure if they're free, they'd be love to grace your special event with some awesome music. Anything else you want to throw out there, Jesse, before I cut you loose? I know you didn't have a lot of time today, but anything else you want a listening audience to know a little bit about the Jesse Stratton Band?
The only other thing I can think of is, like you just mentioned, videos. The song you just played, Dance With Me, we will be releasing a music video for that probably this week or next week, so it'll be coming out really soon. I just got to watch it right before I called you for the first time. So other than that, just thank you for having me. Hope everyone's enjoying the music up there.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, Jesse. We wish you all the best. If you ever do find yourself up here in the state of Pennsylvania, the doors for Penn's Peak Radio are always open to all my guests, so it'd be awesome for you to stop by and say hi. But in the meantime, we wish you all the best with what you guys have going on. And, hey, got anything new and exciting going on? Feel free to give me a call back. We'll get you back on the show. We'll get everybody updated what's happening with the Jesse Stratton Band. Remember, guys, it's Jesse Stratton Music. There are links for the social medias on there, how you can get your hands on physical copies or the platforms for downloading all of the music off this brand new album called Traction, 13-song tune. Check this BMI registered singer, songwriter, performer, multi-instrumentalist. Oh, the list goes on and on, Jesse. Thanks so much for being part of the show today, dude.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
No problem. There you have it, Jesse Stratton. Remember, you can check him out at jessestrattonmusic.com. Here's another one of those tunes we talked about. This is a little something called Finally. Again, it's off their Traction album. Check him out at jessestrattonmusic.com.